All right, gang, now what we've got here is some beautiful ladies. And the thing that we have come up with here, this young lady over here, is just something I think is just going to tickle you because it's real inexpensive. So we'll take a look at it first. She's got two. One is thicker than the other. And we've been looking at, and we've tried these out down here at the research center. And the beauty of it, now you got those big expensive ones. These are more of throwaway, right, Libby?
Well, actually, this one can be reused over and over and over. I have one that's just for emergencies that can be used just a few times. But this is the StepnSoak Ultra, and we've made it very, very dense. So, like you said, the beauty of it is it's very simple. It rolls up to be about the size of an egg roll, so you can stick it in your side pocket or in a truck, and you just slip it on and you pour in whatever you want to use, your Epsom salts and hot water, any kind of bacterial infection fighter, and then you just crisscross the ties around the horse's legs. So it makes a real complicated everyday problem simple.
All you ladies, I know y'all soaked a horse and put it in a bucket. Next thing you know, he knocks the bucket down. So what I'm going to do is show you what we've been experimenting with down here at the research center. Now here's what we do, and I'll show you here. This is a wet towel. I like a bigger one. It's just an old ragged towel, and we wet it. And what we're going to do, I'm going to let this young lady, I'm going to let them do it to show that it's easy done. And she's not a farrier, so we're going to let them do it. And she's going to wrap this around, letting the horse a lot of times will paw. So you need to get the pawing out before you ever put the boot on. So a good big old wet towel you wrap around that foot, whichever one you want to soak. And while she's doing that, Libby, they can do that, but I wanted to ask you some questions.
Yes,
now, who came up with this idea?
Actually, I did because my horse tried to kill me.
Okay, and soaking his foot?
Soaking his foot. He had a terrible abscess, a big thoroughbred, a bucket. He didn't care about a bucket. There's nothing on the market that he could not destroy. So I wanted something that could be one piece. I could slip on and tie. No negotiating with the horse. It's done quick. It's done simple. And it does the job.
And it's inexpensive.
It is. We sell them two for $17.95, and you can
can't
buy them
beat that with a
all
stick.
day long, and they'll last.
Yeah.
Now we also have a little hoof pad that we'll throw in that you could use with shod horses or horses that are a little more difficult, but I'll certainly keep this from tearing.
Okay.
Now think of a shower curtain. That's how dense this type of vinyl is. So it's good solid vinyl, no seam on the bottom, heat sealed by a manufacturer in Aiken, South Carolina that does IV bags. So we pretty much thought of everything.
Now, we're going to show number up on the screen, and we're going to show your number up on the screen. And if they don't get it, they can always call
Absolutely.
the number on the screen office, and then they'll give them your number to order them, okay?
Right.
Now, what we're going to do, you can see they got they're doing the rag deal here, and this horse seems to be half asleep. He's doing good.
We're hoping.
All right, so what we do, well, a lot of times if you show folks how to do this, a lot of times when you wrap something around the horse's leg, you're fixing to soak it, he'll start pawing a little bit. Well, instead of tearing your bag and having a blow up, this is easy to do. So now the horse is not doing anything, so I'm going to let Tara go ahead and slip the boot on there and show how simple it is.
Very simple.
And we'll come over here. And all these ladies has had problems. And the farrier themselves, now you're going to put the one on with the water, one without
We're going
water?
to pour water into it.
Okay,
It
okay.
seems to be easier to put the bag on and then pour in the solution.
Okay.
Easy, Mama.
What I like about it is so simple. Now they got big boots. They're some of them $75,
Yes,
$100.
sir. Yes, sir.
And we've used them down here. They're good, but this is so inexpensive. The way I look at it, even if you lose it or tear it up, you ain't
Right.
lost a lot,
Right.
and it does the job, and that's the main
That's
thing.
right. And you think
Certain
about
way these need to go.
crisscross it, but let's pour a little bit of water in there, if we may. This is from one to the other. There we go. This will be your Epsom salt or your chemical or your cider vinegar, whatever you use for your hoof. Sometimes cooling. It can be used with crushed ice, and then you simply crisscross the attached.
Either way.
Yes, ma'am. Or front and back. Real simple. Once you do it a couple times, it gets easy. You can tighten a bow. You can tighten knot. Most people just tighten a bow right there, because obviously when you're soaking a hoof, it's because it has an abscess. It has a puncture wound. The horse is not jumping around. He's not feeling good. So again, I can't tell you how many times we have to soak for any number of reasons, but this makes a complicated everyday problem simple, easy, quick, and you can reuse it. All you do is rinse it out, roll it up, and use it again.
Oh, I like that. But you know the beauty of this, and I know you gang out there that you've had to soak your foot, you put it in a bucket. Here's the thing. You got to stand there all
Yes,
the time.
sir. Yes, sir.
Once you get to Horseshoe'n, the reason I like the rag, we did a lot of research down here. The easiest to keep the horse still is do the big wet rag until he gets where he's not pawing. You slip that on, put your solution in there, then you can walk off and do something else.
Yes, sir. I've done it a half a dozen times with my big horses. You just cross-tie the horse or stick him in the stall. They're going to be fine. It's solid. It's going to stay up. We actually have a new design where it's just one long seam along the side that makes it even easier. So we've got different options of design, but it's become real popular because, again, it's easy, it's inexpensive, and it solves an everyday problem that everybody's got.
And gang, you heard it right here. Boy, I just love doing these commercials with these beautiful young ladies.
And it's made in Aiken, South Carolina. Thank you very much.
We'll see you next week right here on Horseshoe'n Time.
Okay, my question is, like on these bags, I heard you say the other day something about there was no seam on the bottom of the bag, but I didn't catch the purpose of that. You want to explain that?
I'll do more than that. I'll show you.
Okay.
When we manufactured them, the ones that we have that's really more emergency and temporary, the real light ones, I initially had them seamed all the way around by a company out west that did Ivy bags. But when I was able to bring the manufacturing home to Aiken, I went for a much higher density product. So I wanted something that's really going to last. I mean, you just can't, pretty much, I'm not going to say a nail can't go through, but it's not easy. But we just fold it over so when the horse's hoof is here, there's no failure. It prevents any kind of failure. I may have had good luck with the others, but I want 100%. So now what we're doing is we're constantly improving it. That's why we have the one single tie pulling this off. They're pulling against each other. It is very difficult to pull those babies off.
So the weight of the horse's foot is not going to pull it apart down here
no.
because there's no seam.
No.
That's good.
If there was a seam, you might have opportunity for failure.
Right.
But we have it folded over and double heat sealed. So that's one thing that really makes it much stronger.
Right.
And again, with the little hoof pad that we make available, if you do have a shod horse, you put the hoof pad on the hoof before you put it in the bag.
Okay.
It's a styrofoam pad.
Okay.
So it really can last just as long as you want it to.
And we can get those styrofoam pads from you also?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You heard it right here. See you later, gang. A happy horse makes a happy owner.